Hello and welcome to today's episode. I'm Jillian Rogue, and today I'm going to be trying a very daring and crazy makeup look. Well, I tell you guys exactly how I lost 170 pounds. So tonight is the night I totally messed up my face. So get ready. So the last video, I kind of talked more about my weight loss journey and what that was like. But this video, I really want to talk about exactly what I did to lose the weight. My camera just keeps going crooked and it's going to continue to. Also, hello, Batwing. You know what, like, it's getting hot out, okay? And I feel uncomfortable wearing t-shirts because of this. But you know what? I paid a lot of money for my tattoos, okay? I paid a lot of money for my tattoos, and I want to show these guns off. Not really, I want to hide them now because of the loose skin. But I refuse to succumb to my insecurities. I don't want to be hot. I want to show my tattoos. And so this, you know what, this doesn't exist. So stick with me while I kind of mesh makeup and the topic of the day together. Now, I'm not as good as some other people doing this, so that's why I said stick with me. I need coffee. It's 7 o'clock at night and I need coffee. So this episode of me doing my makeup, I'm going to try to not talk while I powder my face for 20 minutes and have foundation all over my lips. So you're welcome for that effort. Okay. So let's get started. Let's get down to it. Let's get to why you guys are really here. As I said in my last video, if you watched it, there's a cat hair on my chin. When I first started losing weight, I didn't know I was losing weight. I was simply like going out more and like filling up my life with things other than food. And that was causing me to unknowingly eat less, which caused me to lose like 20 or 30 pounds or 40 pounds or something like that. I forget exactly what. So when I saw that, that's when I was like, oh crap, let me try to actually like really lose weight now. One of the first things I did was cut out soda. And you guys know, if you've watched like my videos on food addiction and whatnot, like I was eating a lot of sugar, and if you were to count my calories I was eating every day, it was probably like 8,000 calories a day. And half of it was probably in like cookies and ice cream and stuff like that. Sugar. A big part of that was soda. I was like addicted to Diet Dr. Pepper. I knew there was 3 things that were making me the weight I was and stay the weight I was. And one was how much I was eating. 2 was the amount of sugar I was consuming, and 3 was probably soda. So knowing my biggest problems with food, the quantity, sugar, and soda, I decided to like kind of tackle those one at a time. So first I tackled soda. After, a few weeks or whatever, once I got comfortable not drinking soda, I started to tackle sugar. So I started slow. I started at first by not eating cookies at work, not eating sugar at all during the day, only eating it when I came home. And I did that because I knew that my problem time for eating sugar, I mean, it's hard at work when you see cookies, you can't have one, but what was harder for me was going home, eating dinner, and not having something sweet afterwards. My whole life I was raised to, you have dinner, you have dessert. You have dinner, you have dessert. So like I said, first step was no more sugar at work or during the day. And then again, gave it a couple weeks, and once I got used to that change, I started trying to cut down the sugar I would eat after dinner, which for me wasn't really dinner, it was like my nightly binge session. So at first, I would try to just, eat less sugar. But it was pretty soon I saw that method wasn't gonna work for me, because it was like, as long as I was having some sugar, I found it impossible to only eat a little. So that's when I decided, like, hey, what if I kind of treat it like an addiction, because it is an addiction, and I basically go cold turkey from sugar. And at first I got through it by telling myself, hey, just don't have sugar today, and then tomorrow, if you really need to, you can have it tomorrow, but like, let's see how long you can go. That to me in my mind was like a little more comforting, because it wasn't just like, oh my God, this is it, you're never having sugar again. No, it was like, okay, let's just see how long you cannot have sugar for, and you know what, if you need to, go get sugar, but like the main goal is to cut down at first. So if I'm at least not having it like 3-4 days a week, that's a big cut down. You know what I mean? Like I tried approaching it from that standpoint, and I honestly think that that really helped, because when I started doing that, basically going cold turkey from it, I started realizing like, hey, I'm craving it less. And after, I would say probably about a week, 5 to 7 days of me not having any sugar, sugar really became less appetizing to me. Like I saw the cookies at work and I thought they sounded like too sweet. Like I honestly didn't really even want them. And I've heard a lot of people talk about that with sugar, and it's really weird. It's like the less sugar you eat, the less you want it. And I swear it's a thing. Like I'm telling you, the less you eat, the less you want it. A lot of these things with weight loss is stuff that you just really have to stick to. You just have to push through and stick to your guns. And you know what? When you do that, that's when you see like the amazing like results. Now I had cut out soda and I had cut out sugar. Next step, like I said, the 3 main problems I was having with food was soda, sugar, and quantity of food. So I tackled 2 of 3. I was seeing a difference in my weight. I was steadily losing, a few pounds a week. So the next thing I tackled was just the amount of food I was eating. And I didn't do like calorie counting at first. For a long time, actually, for several months, I didn't do any sort of calorie counting. All I really did was, I work at a restaurant, like I said, I'm a manager at a restaurant, and I started like realizing what normal people ate. Like normal people would come in and get like a half a sandwich and a bag of chips, and that would be their meal. And to me, I was like, what? What? And I was like, how are normal people just like satisfied with a half of a sandwich and a bag of chips? That's when I kind of started like looking at what I ate, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't look at calories. I looked more at like the size of food I was eating. And what I tried to do was I tried to like imagine how big my stomach was. Like say, okay, well, when you're 300 pounds, your stomach's probably like what, like that? So I tried to make sure like whatever I was eating, this sounds weird, but like if you mashed it all together, it was all chewed up and mashed together, it wouldn't be bigger than like that. Does that make sense? I feel like that's weird, but that's genuinely what I did in the beginning of my weight loss. Like I said, I didn't pay attention to like suggested portion sizes or calories or carbs or anything like that. I just imagined my stomach, how big my stomach would be, and whatever I ate, even if it was like a box of Cheez-Its or something, I would just imagine it mashed up and make sure it was like no bigger than that in my head. That sounds insane, but it also kind of makes sense if you think about it. Who knows if that's actually how big your stomach is, but it made sense to me, and you know what, it worked, and that's the important thing here. And so once I got used to that, I would just imagine my stomach getting smaller, and I would make those portion size smaller. Like, okay, a month into that, now my stomach's like this. So now whatever I eat has to fit inside that. It was around that time I also started incorporating intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting isn't something that's for everyone, and I understand that. I truly believe when it comes to weight loss, and something I feel like I've truly learned, is that everybody's body is so vastly different and works so differently and metabolizes food and like nutrients and carbs and sugars and all that stuff so differently that what works for me might not work for you. Different things work for everyone. And that's why the number one thing I will preach that I have learned throughout weight loss is trial and error. You have to try things and see what works for you. You try this technique for a week, you didn't lose weight, switch it up. Different things work for everyone. And one thing I've learned through experience and through talking to other people is that some people's metabolism need multiple small meals a day. And you'll find research to back up that that is better for your metabolism to have multiple small meals a day. But at the same time, you'll also find research to back up intermittent fasting being good for your metabolism. And you'll find other people who swear that that works. So as I said earlier, today I'm going to try a crazy makeup look that I've never tried before. And as if my face wasn't already messed up enough for my eyebrows, I'm gonna really mess my face up. So the look I wanna try is one I've been seeing a lot, and it's where people take black eyeliner and like draw a line above their lid, basically. So at this time now, I have been working on my portion control by envisioning how big what I was eating was mashed up in my stomach. Oh my God. I was intermittent fasting, I cut out soda and I cut out sugar. And that is around when I got to like 290. And when I got to 290, that's when I kind of like plateaued a little bit. And like I said earlier, the biggest thing is like you try things and you see what works, and then you keep doing it until it stops working or until you plateau. Because plateauing is very common with weight loss. It's always going to happen. You're always going to end up plateauing. I did so many times. I freaked out every time that I wasn't going to be able to lose more weight, and every time I was able to push past it and keep losing weight. And the way I pushed past it and kept losing weight was every time I plateaued, I switched something up. I switched something up and the weight would start coming off again. When I first plateaued, when I wasn't counting calories and I was just, envisioning how big what I was eating was, I decided to start counting calories. I was like, what else can I do? Count calories. And at first, I just decided on 1,500 calories. And honestly, I didn't really count calories. I just kind of estimated, rough estimate, as long as I was in the like 1,000 to 1,500 calorie range. Did that for like a month, along with intermittent fasting, plateaued again. So I went down lower. And for the duration of almost like the majority of my weight loss, that's kind of how it went. I would plateau and then cut my calories even more. All the way until the summer of 2020, when, like I was talking about in my video, that's when I was like, is this an eating disorder or is this just like the weight loss journey? Because I'm eating 400 to 600 calories a day. That's like what I got down to. Now, when I hit 400 to 600 calories a day, I still hit plateaus. I was like, okay, I'm already so low on calories. Like there's not much more to cut down from here. So when I was still plateauing at 400 to 600 calories a day, that's when I switched it up and started worrying more about like carbs and stuff. So basically, like the restaurant I work at, we have like little pasta sides and like deli sides, like pasta salad and stuff like that. And I would eat like a pasta salad and like a bag of chips. And I estimated the pasta salad to be about 200 calories. And then the bag of chips was about 200 calories. And then that was what I would eat for the whole day. And that was it. So then when I would plateau from there, I was like, okay, well maybe that's too many carbs. So I, instead of the pasta side, I would get some of the chicken they had there. And I'd grill like 4 ounces of chicken, add in some avocados. At first I put like ranch on it, and then I plateaued from there. So then I was like, oh, what could I do besides ranch? How could I cut out a little bit more? And I started using like mustard, which sounds gross, but I love mustard, so it's actually good. Mustard, tomato, avocado, and chicken. 4 ounces of chicken and like a 200 calorie bag of chips. So I was still eating carbs, but it was less carbs, and I was like balancing it out. It was like 50% carbs, 50% protein. And that is pretty much what I ate from there all the way until December of 2020. Around like December of 2020, I would still do that, but I started giving myself like once a month cheat days because I was starting to go crazy. I was eating the same thing every day, and it was so little that I was just like starting to crave other foods so bad that I just started giving myself once a month cheat days, and I found they really helped. They really helped like flush out my cravings. For like a split second right now, I was like, wait, should I just Google really fast how to do that like line above your lid thing. And then I was like, nah, we're just gonna mess my face up. So I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it, and I'm very nervous for this part. Like, I'm very, like, I really don't know how people, like, I've seen this a lot, but it's nothing that I've, like, really watched tutorials on. It's just, like, things I've seen, like, little TikToks and, like, Instagram reels where girls are, like, and I don't know, like, how they do it. I don't know. I'm nervous. Okay. Just do it. You just gotta commit, right? You just gotta commit. It's very messy. It's very messy. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I really don't know. How do you get them even? Oh my God. How do you get this even? I finally hit like 190. And that was when I realized, like, okay, enough is enough. I need to start eating more again. Like, I started realizing, like, the way I was eating was not like a sustainable way of eating. It's not something that anyone could do for the rest of their lives. So, and I started realizing like the anxiety I was having about eating and how that wasn't normal. And I just started realizing, okay, like, time to fix my eating. And like, yeah, I still wanted to lose weight, but I could go the rest of the way more slowly and like in a healthier way too. I started increasing the calories I was eating by 100 calories a month. I was at like 500 or 600. One month I would do 700. The next month I would do 800, so on and so forth. And that's also when I started trying to focus more on my health versus just weight loss. So I started kind of implementing, you know, filling up on healthier things like brown rice and chicken or broccoli or vegetables or fruit. And I went on to lose like another 20 pounds. I was still intermittent fasting until about 3 in the afternoon. And then I would eat until about, well, okay, I would eat a snack at 3 in the afternoon. And then I'd eat when I got off work. And I raised my calories all the way to about 1,300 calories a day. Okay, so I applied fake lashes off camera. And honestly, I'm kind of like digging it. I'm just gonna like kind of like thicken up the line, try to make it a little smoother. I'm gonna thicken up my eyeliner line, and I think I'm also gonna add a line on my lower lash line because I see people doing that. Okay, so this bottom one I feel like kind of like transformed this look into something else that it wasn't supposed to be and that the trend isn't. But like, I'm not necessarily mad at her, you know? Basically, I just spent months of trying to eat more because I was like, I have to be able to eat more and still lose weight. And it was like trying to find the balance. And like I've been saying, it was this whole thing of like trial and error, trying different things, trying to see what works for me. So then I was eating about 12 to 1,400 calories a day, and I wouldn't eat any carbs all day. I wouldn't eat until 3 in the afternoon. I'd have a snack of like nuts or cheese or chicken. That was usually about 100 to 200 calories. And then when I got off work, I would eat the rest of my calories and eat carbs. With that, I was doing a cheat day once every week or once every 2 weeks, just kind of depending on how I felt and, you know, like what kind of progress I was making with my weight. Cheat days are something I've also had to tweak. I've learned that it's better to have like a cheat meal versus a cheat day, because cheat days will make you go up in weight. They will. They'll make you go up in weight, but it'll mostly be from sodium and from carbs. Now real fast, I'm going to do highlighter from my favorite highlighter palette. Well, my current favorite highlighter palette. Since I did purple eyeshadow, I'll do the purple horseshoe. Look at her. I love highlighter. Highlighter is like one of my favorite things. I don't know why. I wish it was more like acceptable to just wear a crap load of highlighter every day. Alright, so I guess that is like the finished look. Honestly, I feel like the eyeliner on my under my eye kind of killed it. I feel like it's a little harsh. I made it a little thick. I'm not sure if it's supposed to go with your wing or like against your wing. Anyway, that leads me to where I'm at now with what I'm doing to lose weight. Because like I said, I'm like 170 right now, and I still want to lose another 10 pounds or so. I want to be like 160. So I'm still working on it. And basically the carb cycling idea and then the cheat days every week, it kind of ended up plateauing again. I've only lost about 8 pounds in the past like month and a half, which is fine because like I said, I'm trying to focus more on my health and lose that like final stretch of weight more slowly. But the idea I've come up with recently, the past few weeks, that has really been helping and I've been seeing progress with is basically, like I've said this entire time, losing weight is entirely psychological. It's entirely psychological. So you have to kind of think of ways to trick your mind into being more okay with eating less and doing the things that you need to do to lose weight based off your trial and error and what works for your body. One of those things for me is I've noticed the days I work 5 days a week. The days I work, it's very easy for me to stick to my calorie deficit. But the days I don't work, when I'm off and I'm home all day or whatever, that is when it's the hardest for me to stick to that. So taking carb cycling, I'm starting to try calorie cycling, which is the same idea. Basically, instead of looking at a calorie deficit for each day, or deficit, however you say it, for each day, you look at your average for the entire week. So say you want your average, I want mine to be just under 1,400 calories. So what I'm doing is 5 days a week, I'm eating 1,200 calories. And then my 2 days off, I'm allowing myself a little bit more, about 1,600 one day and then 2,000 the next day, based on which is hardest for me to eat less on, if that makes sense. That way I'm not really having like a full-on cheat day where I'm going out and gorging myself with food, but I'm allowing myself a little bit more, a couple more snacks or whatever, alcohol or whatever it is, and the rest of the week I'm sticking to a slightly lower calorie budget than I normally would. And with that, so far I've lost like 5 pounds, putting me at 175 to 170. And I think that's the way to go, and that's what I'm gonna stick to for the rest of my weight loss. I personally think it's a really good idea because it makes it easier and more maintainable. Anyway, this is my completed crazy, insane, hi, I'm psychotic makeup look. And that is exactly what I've done to lose weight over the past year. And yeah, my last video kind of talked about it a little bit. This video I went a lot more in depth. So I hope you guys, I don't know, enjoyed it and gained some sort of insight from it maybe, and it was somewhat helpful. Like I said though, I have like so much more to say about it. I have so much more in depth I can go. I've learned a lot of like tricks and tips along the way. I've learned a whole way to like approach weight loss that I feel like most plans and trainers don't approach it. And first of all, that's just as a very general idea, that's very psychological. So if you guys want to see more in-depth looks at what I'm eating, what I'm doing, what I have done, and that sort of thing, let me know in the comments down below. Also, subscribe to my channel, thumbs up this video if you liked it, and other than that, I think my next video might be about like what kind of snacks I eat and stuff like that to stick under my calorie budget. I never know how to end videos. I don't know if I'm ever gonna have an actual outro because I seriously like just get so awkward when it comes to ending a video. Like I don't know how to do it. So anyway, subscribe and goodbye.